Hi everybody. For 2020, Ford redesigned the Super Duty. Now, we did get the brand new Tremor off-road model, but that's not right here. This is just a standard XLT 4x4, and with this redesign, this model actually got a little bit worse when it comes to going off-road. So in this video, I want to talk about all the features on this truck, we'll go over the spec sheet, and then I will explain to you why and how the Super Duty got both better and worse off-road for 2020. Let's kick this one off with some numbers and exactly why this truck is now worse for 2020 when you take it off-road. Well, it's not in ground clearance. Ground clearance here is up to 8.5 inches compared to just 8.2 inches in the 2019 F250 single rear wheel 4x4. So then you'd think if ground clearance is up, well, everything else should be up, but that's not the case. The approach angle on this truck right here for 2020 is 17.4 degrees. But the approach angle in 2019 was 18.4. It lost a full degree of approach angle. When it comes to breakover for a crew cab long bed truck, the 2019 got 21.1 degrees. This 2020, 19.3 degrees. So once again, just nearly one full degree of breakover. And then when it comes to departure, the story is the exact same. For 2019, we had 21.8 degrees. For 2020, we have 20.8 degrees. So it's basically 1 degree all the way around, which seems strange because, again, the truck is higher than it was before, so the angle should be better. But now let's do a walk around and I'll show you the reasons why those numbers got worse. Starting off up front, the reason for the worse approach angle is clearly obvious. This massive plastic chin spoiler. Chin spoilers are getting bigger and bigger on trucks these days, and what's the reason? Fuel economy. Ford has decided that it would rather this truck get good fuel economy than have a good approach angle. And that is a common decision being made in pickup trucks these days, and it's something to be aware of. Now, of course, that can be removed, and actually, on our No Pavement Needed series over on TFL Truck, we bought an F250, and Andre and the boys just finished modifying the front end. They actually cut the air dam rather than fully remove it, but you should definitely go over to TFL Truck and check out what is capable with this F250 when you put some money and some parts into it. The reason for the departure angle getting worse is not as clear, although if we get down low here, we can see that the exhaust is the lowest hanging point back here. You do have the hitch and you have a spare tire underneath there, but this exhaust is still the lowest hanging point, so that's going to get in the way when you go off-road. And again, that's something that Ford didn't think was an issue on this stock 4x4 truck, but it's something to keep in mind that all of your angles here are a little bit worse. And to give you a sense how much taller trucks are today, this is the F250, and that's my 85 Chevy K10 with a 4-inch lift sitting on 35s. These trucks are basically the exact same height. Just goes to show you how much taller today's trucks are than they used to be. Let's take a look at the 4x4 gear here on the interior of this truck, and it's all right here on this switch. So of course you have 2 high, 4 high, and then 4 low. And it is interesting to note that there's no neutral setting between 4 high and 4 low. That's something commonly found on transfer cases. That allows you to flat tow the vehicle, and that is not here on the Super Duty. And then over here on the left, that is our electronic locking differential, and that actually comes along when you order the 430 rear end, which this truck has. Now right below, right there, of course, you have your trailer brake controller, and even below that, trailer backup assist. And this is a great system, guys. Turn the knob right, the trailer goes right. Turn the knob left, the trailer goes left. It's quite intuitive to use. 2 more things I need to show you up here in the info cluster. First is this off-road screen. It gives you the inclinometer, but easily the most valuable piece of information is right there. You can see it changing as I turn the wheel. It shows you exactly where your front wheels are pointed. And when you're off-road, especially when you're by yourself, that can be hugely beneficial to know specifically where your wheels are going. Now, the other thing I want to show you up here in the info cluster are the drive modes. They're accessible from this button right here on the end of the shifter. Hit the drive mode button and you'll see them there. We have normal, tow haul, eco mode, slippery mode, and then deep snow and sand. So yes, there is an off-road mode here for deep snow and sand, even though this is still just the basic 4x4 truck. If you go for that Tremor, you do get more off-road modes included. Another option added to this truck is the camera system. So hit that physical camera up there and you get quite a few views. That right there is in front of the truck, and of course that's your overhead bird's eye view camera. Hit your button up here and you can start looking through. There's just your front view. This is a great view when you're off-road, again, to see exactly what's in front of your truck, because from behind the wheel, you can't see up there in front of the nose. Now this is a wide angle front view, so you're basically seeing, you know, the corners of your bumpers there, helpful to know where your truck is. Over here, we have a view of the bed. Now for some weird reason in our truck, you probably can see it, the resolution's been a little bit spotty on our camera. It kind of comes and goes. I think it's probably a bad connection or something. Anyways though, let me show you this quick clip. I actually had something tied down in the bed, and it was great to have this camera to be able to check on it back there. So that's very useful. Plus, of course, if you have a fifth wheel, this is the camera you're gonna use to hook up that kingpin. And then finally, we don't have it on this truck, but this is the button for your accessory camera. So this camera could be mounted on the back of your trailer or even inside your trailer if you wanted. Wherever you want it, you can put it there, and there's back to the main screen. So if you value off-road capability over all else and you want to keep your truck stock, well, you actually want to go for a 2019 4x4 rather than a 2020. Although, of course, now we have the Tremor package, and for under $6,000 Canadian, you can add it onto your truck, and this Super Duty becomes an absolute monster. 10.8 inches of ground clearance, 35-inch tires, over 30 degrees of approach angle. Yes, if you want to go off-road in an HD, a Tremor is an excellent choice. And not only is it great off-road, that truck can still tow more than double its weight. It is an impressive package for sure. Now I want to go ahead and take a look at this 7.3 liter gas V8, and then we'll talk about the fuel economy and whether or not these enhancements that Ford made were even worth it. Another advantage going for the gas engine is going to be a better payload rating, because the gas engine is a lot lighter than the diesel. So let's take a look at the door jamb sticker. And yes, this truck is good for 2,857 pounds of payload. That is a pretty significant amount out of an F-250. Oh, and another advantage to this 7.3 gas V8, it sounds pretty dang good. This is the heart of this monster. It's a 7.3 liter naturally aspirated gas V8 that makes 430 horsepower and 475 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, one of the big deals with this engine is it went back to pushrod technology. The advantages to which are that the packaging can be made much smaller. You'll notice that this engine really does fit nicely in this engine bay, leaves lots of space over here. And then also, push rods are good at making power down low. And all of that torque is made at 4,000 RPM. So this isn't a high red line screamer of an engine. And when you get out there and drive, it's an absolute monster putting power to the ground, especially with our 430 rear end. Although, fuel economy is a different story. Because this is a heavy duty, of course, there are no official ratings. So right now, come with us on a quick road trip and we will see what we can get out of this big gasser. Okay, let's zero out trip one. Boom. We're just hitting the highway here in the F-250, and I do have it in eco mode because I want to get the best fuel economy we can. However, we got to merge up to highway speed, which means I get to put my foot into it a little bit. And the power here feels so good, especially with the 430 rear end. This thing just puts loads of power into the ground. You jump to highway speeds in no time flat. The shifts from this 10-speed automatic are smooth and nearly imperceptible. It's a great transmission. Overall, this whole powertrain feels excellent from back here in the driver's seat. I'm just curious as to what the fuel economy is going to be. Now we're going to cruise here at about 110 kilometers an hour, and I want to do a full 100 kilometers. The other things that need to be said about this Super Duty when you're driving is it's just such a calm, comfortable truck. And this is a common story across heavy duties these days, but these trucks are just so much more livable day to day than they used to be. I mean, heck, I even have my kids in the back right now. They're comfortable, they're quiet, they're happy. The back seat is absolutely massive in this thing. So, you know what? Cruising in a Super Duty today versus 10 years ago, it's a world of difference. All right, just pulling back into the gas station right now, and everybody, we nailed it. Exactly 100 kilometers, and there's our fuel economy, 17.5 liters per 100. That is pretty thirsty for an unloaded truck just cruising down the highway. About 75 of those kilometers were on the highway, 25 in the city, still 17.5. I wish it was a bit better. I'm sure the diesel would have been better. Now let's go fill up and we'll do the math ourselves. Okay, well, this one's actually gonna be really simple to do the math on. I just filled up this truck with 17.4 liters of fuel. You can see it right there. And because I did 100 kilometers, I know that we just averaged 17.4 liters per 100. That's just 0.1 off from what the computer said. So yeah, basically 17.5 liters per 100 is what you can expect out of this engine. Now let's talk pricing and go over the build sheet. I'm looking at it on my phone, but I will throw it up on screen here for you guys to see. So first of all, the base price for this F250 4x4 Crew Cab XLT comes in at $57,189 Canadian. Adding on the 7.3 liter V8 brings the price up by $27.50, though going for the 430 electronic locking differential is a no-cost option. Our truck also has the gooseneck hitch package. It has the XLT premium package that brings along some nice luxury features. Navigation system for $800. This massive twin panel moonroof is worth $17.50 all on its own. Finally, you can see the rest of the features there that have been added on this truck, bringing our options list up to $14,405. And finally, our total price for this rig up to $71,600 Canadian. For 2020, with these stock 4x4 models, it's clear that Ford really went after fuel economy and comfort more than off-road capability. Unfortunate when you consider how thirsty this 7.3 is, but that's okay. This is a strong powertrain offering loads of torque. And then of course, if you do want off-road capability, get yourself a Tremor and you won't be disappointed. So guys, that's it for this video. Make sure you go below, leave me a comment, and then head over to TFL Truck and check out No Pavement Needed. Andre and the boys have done some amazing work to their F250. Now, also hit like, hit subscribe, and then come right back to the channel for the latest news, views, and real world reviews. Well, I'll see you guys later.